And that's for the piggies in every US city thinking a seat in the back row is Porsche because of European history. They miss seeing the monocle though, so I be in the front row on days I'm making dough. All alone, in the zone, on the phone, until the trailers go off the screen, along with all those production companies that never did a thing for me.
Initially, Eva Victor's Sorry Baby looked to be the average chick flick that I would have been happy to get up and walk out on. Not many films that begin with small talk about having sex with males can hold my attention. But then as the film began to unfold, academia turned out to be the setting this picture decided to anchor itself on. So as an academic on paper and in spirit, I was strapped in for the ride. The ride that is Sorry Baby actually showcases some of the worst sides of academia. One for a heterosexual male such as myself being that the majority of females in academia tend to lean into homosexuality. And of course the surrounding basis of the film being college sexual encounters that could find a male in deep water should the female in the encounter remove consent mid-coitus. Why doesn't Eva's character call the cops if she was raped? The indecision of Agnes Victor is frustrating, taking up the picture, making it hard to sympathize for her, and opening the question towards the U.S. education system that if students aren't being taught how to make decisions, then what are they really learning in these so-called institutions of higher learning? Naomi Ackie portrays Agnes's friend Lydia. She has these magical Negro traits on one hand, and her token appearance is somewhat strange, though necessary for the annoyingly needy Agnes, like her cat. Pets. This is why Kelly McCormack's Natasha is my favorite character in the film, because she's not only anti-Agnes, but the anti-Agnes. She's virtually the same sexual encounter as Agnes, with the same man, no less, but doesn't go into semantics about it and make up trauma just because she had an unfavorable experience. She doesn't engage in white lies and doesn't need the crutches Agnes does. McCormack is unapologetically herself, while the picture is about an unstable woman who is still finding herself while burdening those around her. So this is why McCormack has to play the background, because she easily overshadows Victor on screen. The smash cut sequences were great. I liked the unsettling music during the shameful drive home scene and the blatant nod to 12 Angry Men. A filmmaker couldn't draw greater inspiration from a better flick. But throughout Sorry Baby, I felt as annoyed with Agnes and Lydia as the doctor administering Agnes's rape kit. For these two to be academics, one is a full-on crash-out flunky for her caucasoid friend who she deems superior to her. Ackie literally goes on a whole bedwench diatribe at the start of the film praising Caucasian semen like a damn Nazi. And the other is an academic who is consistently indecisive to the point that the soundness of her own logic comes into question. An excellent case study of rape culture and the nature of women. Sorry Baby ends with something of a disclaimer to having children with what I have now come to dub the Babylonian bitch. Want to know why the U.S. birth rate is in decline? Watch Sorry Baby. Want to know why the warrior class tends to have higher rates of children than the academic class? Watch Sorry Baby. Want to know why Believe All Women is a bullshit slogan? Watch Sorry Baby. Want to know why females tend to circle back and accuse men more powerful than them of sexually assaulting them way after the deed is done? For a film that is centered around a character consumed in a state of confusion, Victor's picture easily serves as a catch-all for a lot of questions about women in modern Western society.
Pop your popcorn. That's for the piggies in every US city thinking a seat in the back row is Porsche because of European history. They miss seeing the monocle though, so I be in the front row on days I'm making dough. All alone, in the zone, on the phone, until the trailers go off the screen, along with all those production companies that never did a thing for me.